gift is a seed. You can easily be the change that we need. Keep your mind alert and your heart with peace. Be the change that we want to see. Yeah, go and share your gift. Yeah, your gift is a seed. You can easily be the change that we need. Keep your mind alert and fill your heart with peace. Be the change that we want to see.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Mentality Unchained. I am your host, Dr. Kevin Thomas, the neighborhood therapist. How y'all rocking out there? How y'all holding down out there? At today's event, we're going to talk a little bit about some seriousness and then get into entrepreneurship, man. I know lately we've been talking about a lot of mental health stuff, which we'll get into that too. But at the same time, I want to talk about entrepreneurship in its totality. Also want to talk about community work more specifically by way of social media, branding, things of that nature. And before we get into my guest this evening, I want to ask you guys to make sure that you hit that subscribe button and subscribe, like, comment, like I said last time, and I want to make sure I bring this up again. In your comment section, if you know any resources, mental health resources, any domestic violence, any gun violence prevention, any type of preventative maintenance when it comes to people, please put it in the comment section. We're trying to provide resources for the people that are listening out there and some of the people that are struggling with these things in our community. So I just want to make sure that I let you guys know that I did not forget to make sure that we plug that. So today, guys, without further ado, I have my man here. His name is Jaylon Hughes. I know this cat, but I don't know this cat, right? And so I want to really understand Jaylon in his totality. But Jaylon is a distinguished author, renowned for his insightful trilogy series on personal growth and development. Jaylon is the owner of Juicy Visuals, right?
Yep.
Okay, Juicy Visuals. He was awarded the Rockford Community Votes 2023 Platinum winner in digital marketing, photography, videography, and video production. Give my guest a hand, Jaylon Hughes. Jaylon, appreciate you stopping through, man.
Appreciate the invite and appreciate the platform, appreciate what you're doing, not only trying to reach people in different mediums, but doing your part to really help this community and help people that not only look like us, but also don't look like us. So thank you, and I appreciate you.
That's what's up, man. I appreciate that. I wanted to give you a proper introduction, but I want to give you an opportunity to tell the people who you are and a little bit about yourself, because I can't do you no justice, so I'll let you do it yourself.
No, I appreciate that. Yeah, like I said, Jaylon Hughes, not born here in Freeport, but raised here in Freeport, Illinois. Okay. So yeah, I'm an 815er as well. Content creator, digital marketer, filmmaker, just overall kind of internet personality right now. And obviously entrepreneur. I've been in business for 2 years, Juicy Visuals LLC, and just really bringing voices to the underserved and underrepresented. Yeah. And also being a voice for others that feel like they didn't have the chance to be a voice. Wow,
that's what's up. I you know what though, as much as I get on this platform and I talk about our community, I want to make sure people understand our community. When I speak of our community, that's Rockford, Illinois, and the surrounding areas, Freeport, Belvedere, even Beloit. I speak on behalf of those because we're not heard in most parts of the country, and so when you talk about Rockford and Freeport and all these areas, people really don't know the dynamics of those cities. Yes. So with that being said, though, how did you grow up, man? What was your upbringing like?
So it's kind of crazy. Offline, you guys call me a little sophisticated, and I love that. That's kind of a little bit some of it, but also a little bit country different. Okay. I grew up. I went to an all-white Catholic school, Christian school at first, called Open Bible in Freeport, Illinois. I was a childhood model and actor up until the age of 7. And so there I learned firsthand that being different sometimes and having a gift can be squandered by others who I wouldn't say are hating, but maybe could be jealous or whatever it wanted to be, you know? So one thing about when I was going there in Open Bible, I would always be, I love performing, right? So I would always be on stage and doing those types of things. And I get one of the best roles every year in the school Christmas play.
Okay.
And I'm the only black kid though, so they're like, okay, why is this kid getting the roles? It's like whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't think about that young.
Yeah.
But then when you're getting a little bit bullied, or say for instance, like we play house. You know, kids play house all the time.
Right.
I'm the one who always has to be the dog.
Yeah.
Instead of being the husband or the brother, right? And so those little things, they're very minute and we don't think about them, but that's kind of how it came up. So with that, and then I got into sports really young. I was always into sports. Okay. I ended up taking that to the next level with playing collegiate baseball. Shout out to Kishwaukee College. We're the last team to win the Arrowhead Conference in the school history since my coach did it in '96. We did it in 2016. So I definitely want to give shout outs to them and my teammates. And, you know, I'm just a person who really is out here trying to be the big brother, trying to be the change that I always wanted to see and that I wish I had when I was growing up.
That's cool, man. That's one of my biggest mottos is be the change that you want to see. Here's the thing, though. I did hear you say a few things, and I kind of want to dig into it and jump into it pretty quick.
Let's do it.
You know, you said you grew up going to an all-white Christian school, right?
Yes.
And so what's that dynamics like within the household as well? Like, oh, we have to go to this all-white Christian school. You have any siblings, first of all?
So I do have 3 older half siblings.
Okay.
We have the same father, and so I'm the baby of all of them. I'm the biggest, but I'm the baby, and it's really nice. But it's also sometimes you don't know who people were before you were here, right?
Okay.
And that doesn't always mean that we're gonna get along or whatever it is happened before me. Shouldn't hinder me, but could. And you know, I guess growing up in the household, you see different relationships.
Okay.
I seen what it was like to have a relationship where it was like, okay, you know, maybe a mother and father may not be together and they're figuring it out, whatever. But then I also seen growing up where I did grow up with 2 parents in a household, right?
Oh, yeah.
And so that's beautiful. But then, you know, people think that just because you have 2 parents, everything's bread and butter.
True.
My 2 parents worked extremely hard. A lot of times it takes, I really believe that it takes a village. Okay. And a lot of times, you know, I'm at my grandparents' house, you know, I'm at my uncle's house. I'm being helped by the community and by other people around me. So that was beautiful, and they've instilled in me as well. And I believe that all opportunities and things that you go through make you who you are.
No, that's deep. That's deep. So being in a house with 2 parents and you have this expectation from the community, the social aspect of it, right? Like, how do you live up to being that productive, that futuristic child that your parents hope you to be, and deal with the society that's outside of the doors? How do you deal with that? As a kid?
Currently or as a kid?
As a kid.
So as a kid, I just wanted to make my parents proud. Yeah. I wanted to be, you know, the person that, for better or worse, definitely knew they can know that it was going to make it. Okay. You know, I can't speak for any of my siblings, however they're doing. I hope they're doing well. I do speak to some of them, and I love them.
You know, I caught that, right? You said hopefully they're doing well.
I know, and I wanted you to.
Gotcha.
Because sometimes, like I said, you don't know relationships, you don't know people before you're not there. Yeah. You know, again, I'm the baby of 4. So there's things that happen, obviously, that I have no aware of, or maybe slight aware of, that created that environment for me to be in. Gotcha. And that's how I am here.
Okay. So how do you don't have any communication with your siblings?
I do. So unfortunately, one, he's I can't really talk to him, he kind of in and out. One, he's in another state, and then my sister's also in another state. Okay. So a couple times a year. It could definitely be better. I need to also be better at myself at reaching out, because that is part of the problem. But I also believe sometimes when you're on a journey, not everyone can go where you're going. Yeah. And I love them. I'm always going to support them. But I don't know if they can be in the same rooms as me as I try to grow and ascend.
As you're growing now?
Yes.
Okay. So when you said you were the baby of the bunch, being younger, did they look out for you, or did they kind of just like let little brother do his own thing?
Since first I've seen your podcast, so I want to give you some appreciative. I think you're a very good interviewer.
Oh, thank you.
And I really appreciate this platform. So I am going to keep it 100 for you.
I appreciate it.
And I don't really say a lot of these things I am going to be honest about with you.
Okay.
But since we're real ones in here, we're going to keep it honest,
I
right?
appreciate that.
I didn't really know of them like that, like really know them until I was in 5th grade.
Okay. And
so I would hang out with them every once in a while, and I'd be like, I know them, you kind of look with it, but it would be mostly my brothers, but I wouldn't be there forever too long or whatever.
Okay.
And then I just was like, I'm just kicking it with their cousins or something.
Yeah.
Until I'm literally 2 classes away from my brother, he's only a year older than me, but we were in the same class, whatever. Did I actually realize I had siblings like that. And so that goes back to as a foreshadowing of you don't know things that happened before you.
Yeah.
And, I have had that healing, and I've done that personal self-talk and healing with asking my parents and asking about those things. And I know it was hard for them as well. Wow. When you're really on a journey to be better and better yourself, you go through these hard times. You go through these times where, you're going to make ruffle some feathers, you're going to be uncomfortable, but that's where growth comes from. I'm
curious because you're very good with your words. But I also, I'm listening to you, and you said that you didn't think your brother, or you didn't see your brother like that. What do you mean?
In terms of like, what do you mean I didn't see him like that?
Because you said that it wasn't until I was in the same or taking the same class as him that I didn't know my brother.
Because it wasn't a conscious thought for me. I knew I was around him maybe a couple times a year or whatever, but it wasn't like that conscious thought, this is my brother. I didn't get that sit down, this is what happened, this is what it is, until I was in 5th grade. And then building up, I'm growing, I'm trying to have relationships with people who are family. And I believe that you don't choose your family, but you do choose your family.
Yeah.
And so now, as I've been on my crusade throughout life, I've been choosing my family, and I've been, creating an environment for others to grow and for me to grow as well. But until you have the power to really do that as a kid, you don't. Yeah. So that kind of just makes it what it is.
Did that create any loneliness or any feeling that you didn't have a relationship with your siblings because of whatever reason?
I always wanted siblings. I'm an introverted guy, but I have a big personality.
Okay.
So I've always wanted siblings. I always wanted that type of relationships. That big brother, that big whatever. Yeah. And I guess that yearning for me makes me want to make sure I can be that for someone else. Because there's a lot of people who may have a big brother or somebody or an uncle or who
right.
And unfortunately that person may not be the best person for you to look after. A lot of our young men don't have the right guidance and don't have the right mentors. And so I'm very thankful that now I've got into being grown and now I have a mentor. Shout out to Antonio T. Smith Jr. And I want to not only be a mentor to others now, because I believe John C. Maxwell, 5 laws of leadership, if you're at the top law, you're creating other leaders. Now I'm trying to gain up to my 5th level, and I can't be there if I'm not creating other leaders. I'm not putting other people on. I'm not serving people. When I think about business, when I think about relationships, when I think about connections, a real giver gives and doesn't ask for oh, remember the last time I did that for you? Yeah. No, a real giver gives because you're supposed to. And I really believe in that. And I also believe in really making sure you cherish your relationships because you don't know how long that person can or cannot be in your life.
Did you not get that from your father when you were younger? Did you see him as a leader? Did he impart anything in you that you thought you could use and as you are today?
Yes, okay. I wouldn't say an unhealthy like fixation on making him proud, because I felt like I had a little bit of that chip on my shoulder that now I have to be not the top kid or the best kid, but like I have to bring the legacy on. I've seen what's come before me. They've done whatever they wanted to do, but now it's my turn to do something bigger and different. And so I always looked up to my father. I didn't want to be my father because I saw what he struggled with.
Okay.
I saw his passions, and I saw the things that he loved, and that's him, and I love that for him. But you know, I have some different aspirations. You know, when I got out of college, I thought I was going to work in a hospital. I thought I was going to be someone who, I'm going to get this job, I'm going to really help people, I'm going to be a manager here or leadership, and help bring in more people that look like us and give them a chance, right? I always knew that I liked putting people in better positions and helping people. And then I thought to myself, as I'm going through school and I'm doing everything I'm doing, going through getting applications and whatnot, I said, you know, a hospital might serve maybe 100,000 a year, right?
Yeah.
But in business and social media and everything that I'm doing, I can serve the world. I can serve more people by being okay with putting myself out there, by humbling myself before God and being a vessel for him and a soldier in his army to touch more people and bring them into not only better wealth, bring them into creating their own visions, bring them into being the best versions of their life. That's why I started out with that book trilogy. I forgot to say I was an author, y'all. So
I think I introduced you as an author.
You did, so I appreciate you.
Yeah.
But that's why I started with that book trilogy. I literally wrote these books not caring about the money. I said, how can I start really being a big brother to someone and expand my reach to somebody, because that's the ultimate goal. That was the goal.
I'm going to circle back around to that big brother piece too, but tell me about your relationship with your mother. How's that? How was that growing up, and how is it now?
My mother is amazing. I love her to death. She's one of those great black mothers that will always look out for you. But sometimes, you know, and maybe, are you a father?
I am.
So you can probably tell me this as well. I believe a man can teach a man and a woman can teach a woman. And to be that type of person. I think as a man, I could teach a young lady how to be a good person, but I don't know what it is to be a young lady. And so my mom was amazing. She's done everything I feel like she needed to do and more. But it's time for me to be a man. And some people I shouldn't say, but some mothers like to be the mother forever.
Yeah.
And as I'm growing, as I'm succeeding, it's like, Mom, I don't need you to be the mother forever. I just need you to be my friend now. And when I need some help, obviously, you know, whatever. But now it's time for me to take care of you. You've done your part. It's time for me to bring the Hughes legacy farther and push this thing where now we're the people on the wall.
Yeah.
We need black wealth, but we also, with black wealth and also just wealth in general, you're not going to get it if you're not serving people. So as I'm on this crusade, I'm serving more and more people, and I'm pushing it bigger and larger. That's not only going to fulfill my, the good things that I feel and I feel like my calling through Jesus and through my ministry, but also help take care of the people that I care about as well. Because no one wants to have that call, Mom needs $20,000 right now, and
I ain't got it. Right.
What's she gonna do? Die tomorrow?
Yeah.
No one wants to have to do that. But the reality of this world is almost probably 90% of the world can't do that.
Yeah.
90% of the world is living paycheck to paycheck. And I'm very blessed to be in what I am with digital marketing and this online personality, because it's only gonna get bigger. And I think a lot of us young black people, or just black people in general, really need to get behind technology before you get left behind. Because they're taking a lot of our jobs, and they say the black jobs and all that stuff from us.
Yeah.
A lot of these things aren't gonna be here, but that's what technology is always meant to be. So you have to be recession proof. You have to be technology proof. And in my opinion, now I'm moving with that, and I'm gonna forever be that.
So now let's circle around, because that's a great segue as well, because I want to come back to this mentorship brotherhood thing. So we're doing a men's conference, and we're calling it Brothers United in Leadership Development. And what we're trying to do with our young people is show them, one, that as African American men, we can work together. And then two, to tap into their fullest potential. And the prayer is that we as black men will come together to give the young black men something to hold on to.
Yes.
So in your concert of mom and dad coming together, you've developed who you are, you've come to know who you are as an individual, as a young black man. Mm-hmm. What is your specific calling to dealing with young black men?
My specific calling to dealing with young black men is helping them tell their own story and create their own vision, and also to understand that even if you don't know, help get them to the places where they can't figure out to know. I feel like a lot of us don't have the resources or don't have someone that can say, hey, you know, it's okay to be a plumber. They're making 40, 50, you know, right off a bat or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They don't have that person to say, okay, well, you know, look at what I'm doing. I'm a speaker. I do all these other things. Do you want to do what I do? Do you want me to teach you what I do? You know, it's just having the community. It takes a village. We don't all need to be doing the same thing. It's like a relationship. We need to have synergy. You can do some things and I can help you do some things, and I'm better at this and you're better at that,
Right,
but that's why we're better together.
Right. We
need to be I always say we're stronger together. Yeah. So as we can come together, we can do it.
Who put that in you? Who gave you that zeal and that enthusiasm and motivation to do just that? Because most kids don't get that. Even if they do have both parents in the home, they don't get that extra push or boost to do something like that. So where did you get that from?
Being such a self-starter that I understood, and having, again, good people in my life, that I could see that, okay, I don't want to be always doing this all on my own. Yeah. A real leader and a real business owner has to know how to give up creative control. Yeah. They have to let someone else, hopefully teach them to be better than they were, so you can do what you do and keep the things going. Now I'm very blessed because now I'm starting to have interns. I'm bringing people on. I'm able to touch more young men and teach them the industry, because there's a lot of money out here for what we're doing. And not even just that. Tell your vision to the story. Become your own media. We need more people being able to see what it's like in our neighborhoods, and see what it's like to be us, see what it's like to be another young person dealing with what they're dealing with. One thing that I think humbled my parents was, you know, they're moving into a new house. They've had to be in an apartment recently. And I told them, I said, I love y'all. I don't wish this on you, but I am thankful that you get to see a little bit of what we're dealing with, and why things are kind of how they are. Because, you know, our generations are a lot different now. And I can never fault them for doing what they've been doing and everything. But now, with the knowledge that I believe that I have, I can push this way farther.
That's I get that. That makes sense to me. So then, going up that ladder, is there a fear factor? Is there fear of failing or fear of disappointing, or is there a fear of your abilities? Do you have the abilities or do you not? As you continue to climb, as you continue to go after the things that you feel that's necessary, is there a fear factor?
So starting out, yes.
Okay.
And I believe if you're not doing anything big, you don't have that.
Okay.
You know, you don't get those butterflies. But now as we go on, I'm just more and more strong, and I believe that I've built people around me too, if I ever thought I was failing, that I was going to go to. But then I also believe that, you know, God teaches what's going on is exactly where you need to be. It's perfect. It may feel bad. You may not feel like, you know, it's happening right when I want it to happen.
Right.
But what's happening, the things that we're doing, the interaction that you're having, the path that I'm putting you on is perfect. Live in that moment and keep training for what you're supposed to be in. You know, I want to be on these big stages, and I want to be the Grant Cardone teaching thousands and millions of people. But it starts on these small stages.
Yeah.
It starts with this 20 old folks that know nothing about you, and you gotta captivate them. Or it starts with these 10 young folks that really want to get up out of this. You got about 10, 15 minutes to really show them your light and your God through you into them. So it's about reaching those people. I don't care how much time I got. I'm gonna reach those people. That's why I'm blessed to be here again, because I'm gonna reach these people. And so whoever's watching this, keep listening to this man, because for him to not only bring a platform for us to feel safe, right, but for us to tell you all and someone like you that's in a different generation than me, how some of these young folks are really getting to it out here. Because a lot of the things that disconnect between my parents and I is they love me, they support me, but they don't know what I'm doing. And I can tell them. So now that I'm telling them and I'm communicative, we have a better relationship, but they don't know what I'm doing like that. They know I'm on YouTube and I'm on this, I'm doing that, I'm doing that, and they're hearing stuff about me in the community. So that's beautiful. You know, I believe letting the work speak for itself, but never being too humble not to get what you deserve and your blessings. So I'm gonna speak up when I need to, but sometimes it's just lean back, let the work do it for itself. If it's supposed to reach somebody, you know, people get mad, oh, this got 50 views. Well, you reached those 50 people, and 50 people might fill up a room. And it's probably filling up your whole room that you did it out of. So be humble in that and know it's still gonna grow. Those small stages prepare you for the big stages.
I hear a lot of spiritual overtone and undertone with you. And the first thing I think of is Psalms 34:7 says, delight yourself in the Lord and he will give you the desires of your heart. It sounds like you have a footing and a platform that's built in the foundation of your spirituality.
Definitely. Like I said, I kind of grew up in a church as well. The church that I would say go to the most now is Mount Carmel Baptist in Freeport, Illinois. Shout out to Reverend Threadgill.
Shout out to Reverend Threadgill Jr. I know who he is. That's my guy.
That's my guy as well.
Go ahead.
And it's definitely part of who I am. And I always felt like that I was a soldier in his army. I didn't always know where I was gonna go, but I knew I had something that he has instilled into me to be something big. And that's why I need to be this story or this light for other people as well, because I know my light is now shining to be bigger, to make other people's lights be bigger. There's a lot of, I feel like, silenced voice, or people, you know, like young men. Like I have a mentee right now, very bright young man, but he feels silenced because growing up, he didn't know much about entrepreneurship or nothing. He knew about being in the streets because that's what he was taught. He knew about getting to this money, you know, and a lot of us get that. I seen it with some of my own uncles, right? But I seen it with my brother. I knew that this wasn't for Jaylon. All the stuff that I wanted to see, it was like, okay, I see some good, but then I'm seeing all this bad, and I know I just can't do that. So I have to figure out what Jaylon is. And you know, sometimes when you're a little bit smart, or maybe you talk a little bit well, they'd be like, oh, well, you're so this or you're so that, and it could be that minute undertones from some other races, right? And I used to get mad about that, but I almost take it as a compliment. But then I just enlighten them. I say, why is white the standard? Words are the standard. And just because my vocabulary is whatever it is, you can be just the same way. Go on. Especially to these young people. These young people need to see it happening in front of them. So I bring him with me every time I can. Fortunately, he works third shift right now. So he gotta be, you know what I'm saying? But he'd be here right now. Because that's me putting on. That's me getting his light out of him to give to this world, because I know he's got it. Man, I'm enjoying this already. And you talking about I am a story. I love that. I'm still in it too. I'm gonna start using that. I am a story. So as I'm reading this story, I hear your passion for young men. I hear your passion for media. I hear your passion for family and your passion for your spirituality. Well, all of that creates this huge story that you are trying to put out into the world, right?
at the end of the day, what do you think your greatest accomplishment is today, up to this point?
Personally, or just
Personally.
everything in general?
Personally.
It's hard. I've done some good things.
I hear you, but
Personally,
yeah.
being able to work on this young man that I recently talked about.
Okay.
And it's because a lot of people don't understand you may have that voice or see something in you, and the world is great at telling you don't have a voice.
Wow.
So I've seen him grow in these 3-4 years, and I've seen him be just a good young man, and I'm so thankful that God has instilled it into Jaylon to make sure he can do this. And I know that he's the first person, but I know moving on though, he's the first of many. Because
why
I teach one.
Why are you getting so emotional right now?
Because I teach one, we teach 10.
Gotcha.
I teach 10, we teach thousands.
Yeah.
This is a movement.
Yeah.
I'm the young person who wants to make change. I'm the young person who sees that it doesn't matter where I come from or where you come from. If you got something to do, do it. So that's why I'm on this story, this crusade or whatever, because I believe I always had some talents, and I believe that I just wanted to help people.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how I was going to help people, but I'm going to help people, and this is how it's been going.
Can you give me some tissue for him?
I'm cool.
Okay.
Bro.
Okay.
And I feel it. That's how you know I'm passionate.
I appreciate that.
I'm manly, so I do care, but I don't care because people need to see that this is okay.
Yeah.
People need to see that we have emotions and that we are okay to be real with each other as men, but as also as people who are trying to have a genuine connection.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hide who I am for nobody, but I am going to be myself in the right situations.
Yeah.
Because I'm cool. If I don't feel like I'm in the right situation, I'll just do what I need to do.
Gotcha. I appreciate that. I really wasn't going to go here with you, but let's talk about these emotions. Let's talk about how we as men express and how now you have a mentee. How is that perceived to him? Like you being able to show him I can be emotional or I'm in touch with who I am, and that doesn't mean that I'm any less of a man as anyone else. Like these emotions, these are true emotions. These are real emotions. I can feel this. And so I'm just like, yeah.
Yeah. I just believe it's representation. You know, if you see it for yourself, then it's okay. Other people need to see it for themselves. You know, the thing about me is my representation, because I had a good household, was you have the power to be whoever you want.
Okay.
And so it could be, but I come from a family of workers for the most part. I don't come from a family of entrepreneurs. So as I'm pushing on, as I'm learning what's for me and, you know, what I want to be, I'm like, well, Dad, you made X amount a year. Why can't I be the guy who paid you and all your homies?
Right.
Why can't I be the guy that's like, you know what? You didn't get a job over there? Oh, wow. Well, I got one over here.
Yeah.
And I know you're going to do well because I'm going to give you the platform to do well. I'm not someone who needs to be micromanaged. That will stifle me. I'm a creator. I need to let me flow. And there's a lot of people out there like that because we're all creative in our own ways, though.
Yeah.
So it's almost like judging a fish trying to climb a tree.
Wow.
You're not putting them in the right environment to really show what they can do. And a lot of us young folks, especially us young black folks, feel like that coming through the school system.
Gotcha.
I learned school, I learned everything, but I was the kid, man, 15, 20 minutes, I'm done with this test. Let me go out like it's college. Don't say I'm a disruptor and I'm a bad child and I'm a bad seed, because now I'm using my gifts, which is communication, which is communion. And I'm talking to other people because I'm sitting up here bored, I have nothing else to do, and I've done all my work. Don't stifle me. Give me more then. Give me more opportunities. Give me more stimulation. Or if not, or just kick me out of the class like they did. So they kick me out of the class, and I go to, we call it, I can't remember, but shout out to Mr. Cooper in Freeport High School. We go there, and it's like, he knew I was there. He'd be like, what'd you do now? I tell him, he like, yeah,
Gotcha.
You're good here. That was that safe space.
Yeah.
You know, to be yourself.
Yeah.
And growing up, I had a lot of social identity problems because I had to be this or I had to be that. You know, my parents were this, making good money, doing all this stuff, right? And that's cool. But what did Shaq tell his kids? I'm rich, y'all not.
Yeah, right.
So it's time for Jaylon to get that. It's time for Jaylon to understand what it is to make a check and then have to spend it all on bills that next whatever. It's time to Jaylon to figure this out. And I did. You know, I moved to Chicago, I moved to Dallas, I've done my work, and I'm grown and I understand it. But now it's like, I see how we're all struggling. And insanity is doing the same things, hoping for something different.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing different that's going to change. And I want everyone out there to know, if you don't do something different, it's never going to change.
Yeah.
So make the small steps now.
Yeah.
The small steps for me was, okay, I got this little degree. It ain't a little degree. Let me talk big on it because it can never be taken away from you.
Right.
And people that say little whatever are pushing hate on you.
Yeah.
But I got my degree. And I said, but what am I going to do? Like, I don't know. I had my business, had my degree. I said, you know what? Just keep doing the business. You know, once I get a job, I'll be okay. Right now, I just got to keep pushing. And here we are, almost 2 years into it. And it's like, oh, man, that job couldn't even hold you.
Right.
Ain't no job going to hold you.
Wow.
But I am technically working with people. And I believe that I have a job now where I'm a director in my mentor's company. And so it's beautiful being the young man that now can hopefully push his legacy further, but then I know when it comes down to it, he's going to teach me to be hopefully bigger, if not better. And then I can instill that into my people. Because like I said, when you teach one, you teach 10.
Yeah. I won't get into your marketing and everything, but I don't like to skip over things, and I don't like to let things pass me by without addressing them. You talked about, and this is a podcast about mental health, community, and culture. You talked about identity crisis. Like, our young people now are dealing with identity crisis right presently as we're talking, getting ready to go back to school. They dealt with it through the summer, you know, all these different things. Like, what's your assessment and what's your take on mental health in our schools, and then also mental health as you're trying to grow in your professional life?
My take on it as what I believe it is currently and where it needs to be?
Yes.
I believe currently we're doing a little bit more, and I'm thankful. And again, we're thankful to have platforms like this. But there's always more work to be done. Yeah. And I don't think a lot of people understand that we all basically go through these same things. It's just sometimes in different ways. You know, I didn't understand depression until I was out in college by myself. My only person that I really knew like that left after the first semester, and I'm broke, literally broke. Like, I get $100 a month from my mom. I'm living in college, and then I'm working up the street at the golf course. Broke. You know, I didn't understand struggle. I didn't understand all that. I didn't understand, you know, having to really be like, oh, and I stopped playing sports because I was playing baseball basically my whole life until that point, because I'm thinking that my travel ball coach was supposed to get me in and had these connections, right? But it never worked that way. Yeah. And that's the one thing that taught me, don't ever keep waiting for someone else to put you on. Yeah. As I sit here today, the company and everything that's doing great with my mentor is amazing, but I'm not going to wait for him or for the next person to put me on. So I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing. I'm going to continue to put out my 4th book that's coming out this summer. I'm going to continue to work on my film that hopefully can be premiered next spring. I'm going to continue to touch people. I'm going to continue to do my journey because my journey was already written regardless. Now I just have someone that can hopefully speed me up. And I think about it almost as a life vest, right? A lot of times people are lost at sea and they're treading water and trying to get to the shore. They may be, 10 feet out, right? All you can touch is water. But if I'm this one person with this life jacket, or this life, the raft part, whatever it is, and I throw it out there to you, and it's got a line, you're still gonna have to do those 9-10 feet. Yeah. But now I can pull you faster. Yeah. Now I can help you. Yeah. And that's what I'm doing. That's what being a mentor is. It's hopefully pushing this person to get to where they want to go, almost like a coach, right? But then also having the wholeness and altruisticness to say, well, hey, I know I'm great, but why can't I try to make this person better? This young man that I keep talking about, and I've said him 3-4 times, because I'm that passionate about him, he's 20 years old. Yeah. Wow. I wish I had me at 20 years old. I'm going to give this young man everything. Yeah. Whether he appreciates it or not, that's my calling. Yeah. And then hopefully he can be bigger and better than I am when he's 28 like me now. Man. And do his journey and touch his people. Yeah. Because we going to keep going. Yeah. But he was one of my first products. And
I can appreciate that. Your passion for this is just ridiculous. So let's shift. Okay. Because I think that the people see who you are, but now let's tell the story. Mm-hmm. Juicy visuals, videography, photography, directing, creating, author. Why? Just simply, why?
Everybody's different. And I'm not trying to reach everybody, but I'm trying to do everything I can to reach everybody that are my people and the people that can benefit and really behoove themselves through what I'm doing. So I can show that I'm good through my authorship and through my penmanship and give those people a lane. I can partner with people in business and show them that. You know, all the things is just, if you're good at something you can show someone else, then that just makes me stronger to show someone else how to be better in what they want to do. You know, there's people around me who, they do tech, they do content, their fitness, their dance, they're all these different things, and it's beautiful, but we all have something in common. We want to help people. Gotcha. We want to be the best versions of ourselves, and we want to get what God graciously promised us, as long as we do what we're supposed to do, which is a successful life, in my opinion, and whatever that is for whoever, and also the goals and the riches to be whoever you want to be. I believe that we were not meant to be poor on this earth. Gotcha. We weren't meant to struggle. But I believe a lot of people fall so far away from what the word says and how things are, and get so stuck in their own traps in life because of systems and the things that we are dealing with in our environments, that they just can't get out. They can't get woken up. I had to be woken up to see, I'm thinking I'm doing well. I'm making $60K a year. I'm working in a high rise in Chicago. I'm a young man from Freeport. I'm not all that, but I'm thinking I'm all that, you know? I'm doing well for a 23, 24-year-old man, running 5Ks, right? But I had to be humble. It was all taken away because of COVID. And then I said, well, dang. And I was I was coming up my way to be a leader. I'm teaching others. I'm fulfilling myself through whatever I'm doing. But then I said, dang, if I don't create my own story and my own vision, this could happen anytime they want it to happen. People around me losing their jobs, their family. I lost people to the COVID, and other people have as well. People not being able to pay for that ventilator, not being able to pay for whatever. I said, my gosh, I can't let that be me. Yeah. And as of right now, I feel powerless. So I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna humble myself. I'm gonna stay down for the come up. And I'm gonna do what I need to do to do what I wanna do, and to take care of Jaylon so Jaylon can take care of others as well, because that's what I wanna do. Yeah. When we get on the plane, they say, put your mask on first, then help the next person next to you. Right. If you're not whole, you can't help the next person. Yeah.
Okay, so I know you got to get out of here, and I got to get you out.
Okay, keep going.
I got to get you out of here, but
I got time.
But I want to talk to you briefly about what exactly is Juicy Visuals, and just give me your elevator speech per se. What is Juicy Visual?
Juicy Visuals is that's a lot. Well, if I guess I have elevator speech, it's a business that is for creators to create other creators and help people create their own vision, giving voice to the unrepresented and the underserved.
Okay.
Again, it was me putting into something that I enjoyed doing, but also being able to get what I wanted out and be who I wanted to be. And then I'm also seeing how I can get others. And I also saw, well, again, in the pandemic, I'm going into this. Let me go into an industry that's very well needed, that's growing. And you look what everything's now. We're all cameras, we're all podcasts, you know, soon you'll be able to sit in your office and almost never have to leave.
Right.
And it's almost like it now. So I wanted to make sure I set myself up because I knew that I had, I wouldn't say some big shoes to fill when it comes to parents and everything, but I knew that I had to take it on.
Yeah.
I knew that I always wanted to be, you see there's Bob Marley and all these people on the wall, I wanted to be that guy.
Okay.
I wanted to be the person that strived, that when they said, oh, we got a black this, you know, at first it was the black doctor, black anesthesiologist. Now it's, we got a black this.
Yeah.
So anybody can do it, but we all have to do what it takes. Yeah. People don't want to do the work. You know, we're living in a culture where people have $4,000, they spend $3,700 on a bag to act like they're rich. Now you're poor.
Yeah.
And you're trying to fake it, almost fake it till you make it, but it's not doing it the right way. You're faking it, hoping you'll get there, but you're not doing what it takes to get there.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be that person. I'm a person that if I say it, I'm going to do it. If I believe it and I really put my words to it, because words are powerful. And I believe that if I really have it in my heart and God put me on this journey, there's no other thing that's going to stop me. There's going to be obstacles. He gives us the vision, but never the roadmap, because a lot of us won't even go for the vision.
True.
So he finna let you see what's going to happen in the middle?
Right.
No. You got to go through that. And that's those trials and tribulations that makes you you.
I see all this stuff coming together, and I see how it's just marrying itself. But I want to touch briefly. Why did you feel that you were qualified to write about personal growth?
Through my personal journeys, and I felt like, you know, it may not be for everyone, but I know there's someone out there like me. I know there's another, maybe it's a Hispanic kid that's out there that feels like they're alone, or anybody, you know, we've all been alone sometimes, you know, so that felt like they're alone and that needed it. So I just said, I wanted to be that big brother for somebody else. I didn't feel like, I wanted to be like other people. Other people feel like there's other people that need to validate you. You validate yourself, and you do the work, and your branding, which is what people say about you when you leave, those are the things that's going to really validate you.
Gotcha.
But the one person that really needs to is God. So as long as I'm moving the way I'm supposed to be moving, and he has put this path on for me, I can't do no wrong. Yeah. I can make a mistake to man. I could, you know, go through life having people that we all know are flexers. We all know they're the type of people they at the bar saying they're doing all this, they can be better than you,
right? Because
they're mad the girls want to talk to you or whatever. Because, you know, our life is filled with that. You know, he said we were going to go through this.
Yeah.
It ain't easy being a Christian.
No.
But that's okay. because only the 1% make it. So I want to be part of the 1%.
That's good. So as you stand and sit here today in your identity, are you happy with you?
Yes, extremely. I'm happy with me because I've done the work to be happy with me. There were so many times where I didn't know who I was. I was the Abercrombie Hollister kid. I was the sports kid all the way until I didn't have it. You know, I was the acting. I did choir. I did all these different things because I had skill and talent. But, you know, there's something I was just better at. And I didn't understand it, but now I do. It's helping people and communicate with people. So that's why these are the mediums that I use, communication. And I use these mediums to tell a story of a young man with a camera that anybody else could be just like. Because the only thing that made me different is I kept sticking it out.
Gotcha.
I kept getting up. I kept going through, hey, you just did this event. Where's my $1,000? Oh, we not paying it.
Right.
You know, I went through all those times. And so there's always more to learn. You know, Frederick Douglass said, if you stop learning, you're almost dead. So there's always more to learn. There's always more growth. But I know that there's people farther behind on the ladder, or lower on the ladder than me, that can use what I just taught them. So that's what validated me.
Appreciate that, man. So,
we can keep going if you want to.
no. I just I want you to leave some advice.
Oh, of course.
I want you to let the people know where they can find you and follow you.
Definitely.
And I also want you to leave something specifically for the young men in media.
Okay.
All right.
First off, my advice is there's no one that can tell you your vision or your story better than you. So go out there and do it. There's always going to be trials and tribulations. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be people who say you can't. But at the end of the day, a lot of times they're saying that because they can. So go out there and do it. If I listened to the people who said that for me, I wouldn't be here sitting in front of you all, and I wouldn't have the chance to show my God and my light in you all. So thank you for being here, and I hope you watched it all through here and you enjoyed it. Secondly, I would say to the young men who want to be in media or just content or anything online, look in the mirror first. Be okay with the people saying that stuff about you, not knowing, and know some of your dirty laundry as well. Because no matter how big you get, someone's gonna find that. Wow. And I know at one point I'm gonna get big, someone's gonna find some dumb stuff that Jaylon did, and that's okay, but it's not okay. So if you haven't done it yet, don't do it. And be okay with the grind. I'm 3-4 years into this. And I just signed with my first content creation company to push me to the next level. So the content is for people to know you, and it's for people to build trust with people. Keep doing that. But also know that this content, if you're putting out content that you don't align with, people aren't going to align with it either. So I had to know what was for me and what I enjoyed, and that's what I put out there. So enjoy what you want, and those people will follow you. It's the law of attraction. Lastly, where you can find me anywhere at Juicy Visuals. That is JUICYVIZUALZ. You can also find me at Jaylon MJ Hughes. That is JAYLON MJ HUGHES. That's my website. That's my social medias. That's everything. And you can also find me in person in the community. I'm everywhere, and I believe that, don't be mad that people don't support you because you're not coming out to come support them. And don't be afraid to take the first step and step into somebody else's realm. For instance, I met this man because I stepped in someone else's realm, and I went to go see what our politicians are doing and what our people are doing and how we can come together to help our community. Yeah. Be okay with being uncomfortable, because that's where change happens.
That's Jaylon Hughes, y'all. That's his story, and I hope you read him well. I will say this, before we get out of here, Jaylon, this is not the last time you and I link up. We're going to do some great things. I always say we all have the ability to change our circumstances only if we focus on what we can change. At the end of the day, I need you guys to be your authentic selves, and I need you to be proud of you. And Jaylon has really given us some nuggets here today to use and to impart in someone else that doesn't have the ability that we have at this moment.
Man, I stop you right there real quick. I just want to say one thing that is so amazing.
Go ahead.
I apologize, y'all. But one thing I always say that would piggyback off of that is you internally do have the power to, and you possess the power to do anything you want. But how are you going to use it? Are you going to get up and do the work, or are you going to sit back and let things try to come to you? Because that's not how things work. Go create your own opportunities. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Nope. Just follow us on all Mentality Unchained platforms. And look, I appreciate you guys again. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you put something in the comment. Do not forget any resources to help someone else. Please put in the comment section, and we will start to put that on. We'll start giving shout out to all the people that are doing things in our community, so we can help our community. It's all about working together, not alone. I've done this so long by myself, and this year has been the first year that I started branching out and collaborating, and it's a beautiful thing. So you don't have to do it alone. So please put any resources in the comment section that we can use, mental health wise, domestic violence, gun violence prevention, anything that we can use to help our people. Again, thank you guys for joining me for another episode of Mentality Unchained. We're out.